In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a little robin applique. This one I use to stick on a card, and it makes a lovely little Christmas card there. And it's just a little robin like this. It's really quick and simple. All you're going to need is a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, some red acrylic double knit. You can use cotton if you'd rather, and some dark brown acrylic double knit. Okay, it doesn't matter what brand, what style, as long as it's brown and red. Now, to get started, you're going to need to make a magic circle using your red acrylic wool. Now, I have got other tutorial videos which show you how to make a magic circle. If you haven't made one before, you can just wrap it around your fingers and then take your crochet hook under the first loop, over the second one, pull it through, twist, and then back through the second one. Okay, and that makes your magic circle. Now into that magic circle, I'm going to chain 2 and 3 in total. Okay, so I've got a chain of 3. That counts as my first treble crochet. That's a UK term. In the US, that would be a double crochet. We are going to do 12 UK trebles into this magic circle. In the US, that's 12 doubles. This counts as number 1. So I yarn over into my circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's one more stitch. So I've now got my chain 3 as 1 stitch, and that is my second stitch. Keep going. So yarn over into the circle, yarn over, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 3 treble crochets. Remember, that's a UK term. In the US, that's 3 double crochets. We'll keep going. So yarn over into the centre of the circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to repeat that until you've got 12 treble crochets, including the chain, and I'll meet you back at the start. Okay, when you've done your 12 trebles, it should look like this. Now, if you just pull the end of that tail, your circle will gradually start to close up, and you want to pull it until it's completely closed up. So you're pulling your end tail, the one that's loose. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, and it should go really, really tight and really closed, and you can't see the hole in the middle. Okay, nice and tight. Now you're going to join back to the start of this circle. Remember, you made your 3 chains, and that was your first stitch. So find the top of those 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and that's where you're going to make a slip stitch. So just put your hook in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. And there you go, you've got your first round. That's 12 trebles. You're now going to do another round, but this time you're going to increase every single stitch. So that means you're going to put 2 trebles into every stitch. Now to start off, we chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Now to increase this stitch, I'm going to yarn over and do another one in the same place. So treble crochets again, just like the previous round, but 2 in every stitch. That's the 2 in that one. And then I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch. That's this one here. And I'm going to do 2 in here. That's 1. And that's 2. Okay, and then I go on to the next stitch. So yarn over, in we go, and do 2. Now this is a really simple applique, and it actually doesn't matter if you make a mistake on this. So if you miss out a stitch or you end up with too many, it won't matter. But you're going to put 2 treble crochets into every stitch from the previous row and meet me back when you get back round here. So you should now have 24 trebles. Remember, that's a UK term, so if you're working US terms, that's 24 doubles all the way around. If you have not got 24 and you've got 23 or whatever, you can add an extra one in, or it really doesn't matter too much. It won't affect the overall look of it. Now, just to finish off, you did a chain 3 at the start, so you find the top of that chain. You're going to put your hook in and do a slip stitch, which is yarn over, pull through and pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, then you're just going to chain 1 and finish off. Snip your yarn, leaving a long enough tail to be able to sew in afterwards. Okay, and pull that through. That's your robin redbreast. That's the red middle of your robin. Now you're going to take your brown yarn. It doesn't matter too much where you attach it, but I always try and crochet over this join so it doesn't really show. But I'm going to start with a slip knot, and again there is a tutorial video to help you with this if you're not sure. Okay, and I'm going to attach it just a couple of stitches to the right of my join from the, or my end from the red colour. I'll join it with a slip stitch there, so making I've got a chain there to start already. So that's 1 chain to join it on. I'm now going to do another 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now this is going to make the tail of my robin. So I'm actually going to do a treble. Remember, that's a UK term, so US double, into the 3rd chain from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3. I'm going in there. I yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now the reason I do it in the 3rd chain is just it gives a slightly nicer tail end than if I did it in the 4th. And then I'm going to do 2 more trebles back in the chains. So 1 here. So this is still his tail. And then the next chain in here. Another treble. And then I've used up all my chains, but I'm going to actually attach the other end of this to the next loop on here, the next stitch on here, with a half treble this time. Okay, so I still yarn over. I go into the next stitch, so not the one that I started in, but the next one along, through both parts of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops at once. That's a half treble. Okay, now I'm going to do some double crochets along. Remember, again, that's a UK term, so in the US that would be single crochets. I'm going to do 3 of them to start with. So I just put my hook in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So 1 and then into the next stitch. So I put my hook in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 double crochets, 1 more into the next stitch. I'm just making the body of my robin. In the next one, I'm going to do 2 half trebles in the same stitch. So yarn over, hook through, yarn over through all 3 loops, and do that again in the same stitch. This is because we've got a bend to our robin, so we do need to increase some of the stitches as we go. In the next one I'm going to do a single half treble. I just mean 1 half treble when I say a single half treble. It's not a fancy stitch, it's just a half treble, but only one of them. And the next one I'm going to go up to trebles this time, and 2 of them again in this next stitch. And these are UK trebles, remember, not US trebles. 1, 2. The next one I'm going to do a treble. We're just making the sort of back of our robin now. And then 2 trebles in the next stitch. Sorry, that just slipped out again. One, 2. A single treble in the next stitch. And 2 trebles in the next stitch. And then in the next stitch I'm going to do what we call a double treble in the UK, but in the US this is a treble. So you yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then in the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double trebles. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. I need to do that again in the same stitch. In the next stitch I'm going to do a single double treble, or double double. It's a double double, a treble in the US. Okay, and in the same stitch a treble, and in the next stitch I'm just going to do a double crochet, or in the US a single crochet. I'm going to chain 3, 1, this gives them a little beak, 2, 3, and then slip stitch back into the same stitch. So yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on my hook. Okay, and then you can just chain 1 and snip it off, leaving enough to sew in at the end. So that's the body of my robin done. All I've got to do now is a little wing on the side. Okay, I'll show you how to block it easily at the end if you need to. Now to make the wing, I only do 1 wing, but if you were doing it as a tree decoration, you could do 2, 1 for each side, but when I'm putting it on a card, I think it only needs 1 wing. Now in order to do that, I do a slip knot, and I chain 10. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to do a treble in the third. And again, I do quite like doing the trebles in the third. I just think it gives a slightly nicer finish. Okay, so I yarn over 1, 2, 3, do my treble in here. Remember that's a UK term, so US term would be a double. I'm now going to do 2 more trebles in the next 2 stitches, so 1 here, so treble, and 1 in the next stitch, 1 here, and then going to do 3 half trebles in the next 3 stitches, so a half treble, half treble in the next one again, and half treble in the next one again. Okay, and then I'm going to do double crochets until I get to the last stitch. I think just 1 double crochet, and then I'm in the last stitch, that's right. And then I've got 4 double crochets in this last 1 stitch. Okay, so I do all in the same stitch, 4 double crochets, 1, 2. I do actually try and turn my work as I do this because you're going to work down the other side. 3 and 4. They've all gone in the same one. Okay. Sorry, I've just knocked the camera. And then we do the same on the way back up. So you should be able to do 1 double crochet, 3 half trebles, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 trebles, 1, 2, and then to give a really nice rounded end at the top, I actually stick a few more trebles in here to sort of go round here. I tend to do 4 more, and that gets you back round to the start, the nice wide wing. So 1, 2, 3, should be able to squeeze 1 more in. 4. And then I do actually ignore that chain this time and just slip stitch into the top of that first actual treble. And that should give you a really nice rounded wing there. Okay, and then I chain 1, finish off, and snip my yarn off. And that is my robin's wing. you'll then need to take your darning needle and sew in the ends. Leave the big end here because you can use that to actually attach your wing. And I usually attach it around the centre, around the centre here and just above the tail wing. Okay, so sew in your ends, attach your wing, and you should then have a little robin that looks like this. Used a slightly darker brown on this one. His tail's curling up a little bit and so is his beak. That's quite normal. But what I tend to do is a really cheap way of blocking it, especially if you've got kids. You might have these foam mats around. This is just a foam mat and I've used just normal sewing pins to hold it down and gently dampen it with a bit of water, and that will help to flatten it out. If you're going to put it onto a card anyway, just make sure that you either I use glue dots actually to affix it, and just put your glue dots onto all of the parts and that will hold it in place. But there you go, you should have a really nice robin applique. Well done.